The Dan, Brady and Lewey Show, featuring Ryan.
Not Louis.
New Orleans to New York.
I hope you didn't press play because this is really bad.
Just looking through some of the recordings, and I found this gem from our car ride back home to the hotel from Nashville. You can, Brady doesn't feature. He is unwell, to say the least. But if you listen carefully, you can hear Ryan do some really good translations for me to our Spanish taxi driver.
English to English.
Have you been very busy tonight?
Every hotel's here.
All the hotels here.
Yeah, and every bars.
All the bars, yeah. I actually like this. I'm trying to learn some languages.
We haven't been to any bars.
Yeah, he doesn't believe that. Espanol.
What's this song about?
What does this song mean? Music.
Music Arabic.
Do you know the meaning behind it in English, or you can't explain in English?
You need English?
No, he just wants to know the meaning. We're gonna lose the kidneys.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto James Robertson Parkway.
Like James.
I don't think you can explain the song.
Inexplicable. You might even say ineffable. Good morning. Welcome to day 7 of the Dan, Brady and Lewey, featuring Ryan, not featuring Lewey. We had a big night, as you may have heard in the previous episode, in Nashville, Tennessee. It's important to say the second bit. That chick, we got an Uber into town, and the chick was driving, and she said that she was from Memphis, Tennessee, but she came to Nashville, Tennessee quite a bit, and sometimes she went to Clarkville, Tennessee. Like every time she said Tennessee at the end.
Very proud of Tennessee.
She just had to be specific. But we've just been driving for a couple of hours.
Although on that, I've searched a couple of towns, and each state has the same town.
Yeah, there's some towns that there's like 5 of them in the country.
Yeah, there's heaps, yeah.
So,
I did look it up before we left, and there was like one of the most common ones was, I think it might have been Washington or something, but it was like 20. There's like 26 of them.
yeah.
There's a lot of Jacksons as well.
Jacksons, yeah.
But the big ones don't seem to have a second name. So, I don't think you need to specify Nashville, Tennessee. But
I wouldn't have thought, but there you go.
Sidetracked. Anyway, so bit of a slow start this morning.
Yeah.
Boys were all feeling a little worse for wear. We managed to sneak some bagels and juice just before the breakfast closed.
Yeah.
And then got out. Got on the road about 10:10.
That's it. We've just been driving. We just stopped. We're on our way to Knoxville before entering the Smoky Mountains, and we just got some Wendy's. Had a Wendy's burger. Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
I'd say better than Macca's.
I had a taco salad. Pretty good. Very fresh.
Very fresh.
Fresh.
Freshly picked tacos.
Freshly picked tacos.
Perfect.
Brady's just waking up and he's been asleep in the car all
Been
morning.
sleeping the whole fucking way. Me and Ryan have been working hard. I've been sitting very still and trying not to feel sick.
Did see a cool doggo in the passenger seat. Highlight of the day.
Yeah, that was good. All right, so onwards and upwards, as in up a mountain.
Yep.
All right. So we're been past Knoxville, and we're just come into another area.
Kodak. I believe
Kodak.
this area is called.
And if you're Pitbull, you can rhyme that with Kodak. Kodak.
Great.
There's a reference for you from only probably 5 years ago.
Oh dear.
Anyway, we decided to go to the visitor centre. The visitor centre was rated 5 stars on Google Review, and we thought, beauty, this sounds great. Pulled off to where it was.
Huge building.
A huge building that was also a baseball thing.
Yep. The AA baseballs league partnered with the Cubs, the Smoky Cubs.
Smokies.
Uh,
They had a big building with a green roof. And then
This was signed the visitors centre as
Yeah.
well. Like the road sign said.
the road
this is
sign said
how
visitor
to get to
centre.
the visitor centre.
There was arrows, everything, and then it also said it on Google Maps. So we went in there expecting a visitor centre, surprised to find a baseball field, but nonetheless gave him a chance. Went in, talked to this girl. She was really nice, but didn't know anything.
She was there. She was just essentially a clerk in the
Yeah, she was
souvenir
fine.
store for the baseball.
She said, I mean, I'm not being mean to her. She said, I don't know anything about this,
Yeah.
about what you're asking. But she's like, oh, but you can go to the other visitor centre, which is just about a mile up the road, and it's got a green roof, which is, I think, translates to roof.
She
And
had
so
a very strong accent, is what
she
Dan's trying
did.
to say.
And then
Also, considering she said she didn't know anything, I asked what the chances of getting eaten by a bear were. She said slim to none. Which I don't know.
And then she said she didn't know
Advice
anything.
anymore.
So I think she's just being polite.
Brady was really excited about that news, and he has now realised that she actually didn't know what she was saying.
There's a good chance you've been lied to. But anyway, so they said, oh, there's a green roof up the hill as you go, and you can't miss it. No worries. All right, beauty. She goes about a mile up the road. Okay, so we get going, and we see a green roof building and a sign that says visitor centre. All right, no worries. Pull in there. It's a bank. The sign we saw must have said another
For another exit.
half
yeah.
a mile or something.
I don't think
But
it
it-
had a distance on. It was just said visitor centre, and so we assumed
Yeah.
it was one of these exits, and it wasn't the RV park. So
So we went into it, and it was a bank with a green roof, and we thought, okay, that's a bit unusual, but she identified the building as a green roofed building.
Yeah.
And now we'd just come from one that they were in, and then we saw a bank that was one, and then we pulled into yet another building that had a green roof and also wasn't a visitor's not
It
the
has-
visitor
it
centre.
has a visitor centre, but like literally 5 to 10 meters after the turn for it, there's another sign saying the actual visitor centre is another quarter of a mile up the road on the right.
Which I can only assume has a green roof as well.
Yeah. So we pulled in. Figured we may as well check this one out because
Because we
we're
had to turn
already
around.
here.
Yeah.
And the gentleman at the front desk.
He was a champ.
Oh, helped us with everything. It was amazing.
He was a bloody champ.
Very polite. Gave us a bunch of free maps and books.
Told us we were going to have a really good time.
Yeah.
Oh, he seemed pretty knowledgeable, Brad. You probably should have asked him if we were going to get eaten by a bear.
But he also
Adversity, motto of the trip.
he's told us how to get into the actual national park and how
to
to avoid
bypass,
the towns if we didn't want to go through a bunch of traffic lights and slow down.
Yeah.
And then told us about the ranger park on the edge of the national park that we should go to, and they'll
Tell us some hikes and stuff.
confirm everything because he wasn't quite sure on camping fees and stuff.
So there you go. Pretty good. Oh, one more thing. There's a fireworks supermarket here.
Yep.
Which I think we might go to. If I can find a way to turn around to go back down the highway.
Maybe if we go up to the other visitor centre, they'll help us get back to this fireworks store.
Can't miss
so
it. Can't miss it. It's a building with a green roof.
That'll be
Just like
another
every
two
other
buildings before we get there.
every fucking building has a green roof in this part of the world. But there you go. Loving it. Having a great time.
Kicking goals.
Kicking goal.
I feel we needed this. Needed a little bit of a story to. You didn't need to record this.
I
I said this is a nice little story to spice up the road trip. We're just driving.
Spicy. It's just another episode of Wrong Directions. So we're just in the fireworks supermarket, and it's huge, and there's that many varieties. I'm going to read a few now. Close Encounter, Jungle Nights, Incredible, Moon Chaser, that looks promising, Sky Buster,
Seek and destroy.
Seek and Destroy. They all have a warning on them. They say, warning, shoots flaming balls. Shoots, emits flames, all sorts of stuff. We're in this place and it's right next door to a petrol station. Which seems, well, I thought it seemed silly at the first, but then Ryan said that it was a good thing because you want to store all your flammables together. have all the dangers together in one spot.
This one here is called Out of Control.
And then this one, yeah, this is
Huge.
Out of Control with a picture of a mad scientist holding a flask.
The size of a basketball.
It's huge.
I like the name California Illegal. Sounded.
Wildly wicked. There's one here that's just called Hey Jack. And there seems to be a lot of the duck hunting people sponsor this. Anyway, it's massive. And I think Ryan's going to buy one. We're just talking about if we go into the park, they say not to have any fires unless it's in a fire pit, or unless you're going to fire it into the sky. Then it's also okay.
Oh, is that like a
But
parachute?
if a bear comes,
This one shoots out a army man and then he parachutes down.
read the name.
Screaming Eagles parachutes. I think this might be the one.
That's the one, you
I
reckon?
think so.
Oh, what about the shake and bake?
Shake and bake.
It also
Warning,
has a
shoot flame balls.
Flaming balls warning, which
That's what I
excites
want.
me.
Yeah. All right. And then, I mean, oh, mind you, I should just point out that these things, like,
And the
Alright.
shopping trolleys in here too.
are only dollars. Like, only like $2, $3. That Screaming Eagle one was $6.95.
Oh, actually, he's the guy that pops it.
Oh, that's cool. So, and this store is like,
The back has a performance review as well.
yeah.
Shows you how good it is, what it does.
Well, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Mucho impresioso.
I concur.
So we just finished what I assume to be our final tour of the visitor centres of America. We just came out of the Sugarlands one, right at the edge of the national park, and it didn't have a green roof.
No.
Although more buildings
Made it
than
better.
yeah, more buildings than not didn't have green roofs. Oh, sorry, did have green roofs. So most buildings have green roofs here. So it definitely was a distinguishing feature
Yep.
for her to say. Anyway, we got a trail guide, got a map, got some information. The guy said that the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is one of the scenic drives we were planning to do, was closed. And then he checked on his phone and he's like, oh, it was open. And he's like, oh, 2 hours ago it was closed. And so they've opened it for us.
Yep.
And he said it's been closed for like three
3
months or
months.
something. And then they just opened it this afternoon when we asked him.
Their advice for the drive was that if it's windy,
Yeah.
the trees could fall down.
So,
But he said it's super casually and
Yeah.
just out of loop. Just
and I don't know what sort of thing we can do about that. Like if there's a tree fall down, it's just like, well, let's cover down.
I liked how he said, just open, so you better go now before it closes again. I was like, I hope we're the reason it's not going to close.
Do you want to give a bear update, Brady?
Ah. Bears.
Do Brady's bear update.
Bears. Yeah, I asked him if we get to see any bears, and he said they're starting to wake up. Some are still napping. There's been a few sightings, but I'm gonna say we probably won't see a bear.
He said they're pretty skittish as well, so they won't be.
The black bears that are here are more afraid of us than we are of them.
They like spiders.
Maybe not in
related to spiders.
I didn't
Brady's case.
didn't ask him about polar bears, but I assume they won't be.
safe bet.
A safe bet. But
On the drive though, so the last tourist information center had said it showed us exactly how to get there on the map, and it also showed us some bypasses if we wanted to go around the traffic lights.
perfect, yeah.
He had mentioned it was amazing, really helpful, but he had mentioned that there was attractions on the ride,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
were kind of worried about time because we only got to the park, the next one, 20 minutes before closing. But I said I think we should do this attraction part.
Great call, by the way.
But amazing, this place, just population of 6,000 people, and then like half the buildings are just
And 20,000 tourists.
yeah, half the buildings are crazy.
Like novelty buildings.
Yeah.
They had an upside down house, like the whole building. And it was like a massive building as well. It wasn't just
Yeah.
like a small thing. And it was upside down. And then they had
It's upside down mansion.
yeah, mansion. And then
They had like 3 castles.
yeah, the King Kong thing. Whatever
Yeah.
that was, Hollywood place, they had King Kong, and then it had like a Mount Rushmore with the heads. Couldn't identify the heads,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But
And I went to take a photo. So realistic. The camera was doing the face recognition and all the
and the heads.
faces.
And then we also saw the Titanic. They have a Titanic one.
Including iceberg.
So
It's a crash.
as
Apparently not too soon.
you're driving towards it, you can just see the ship, and then as you go past it, you can see the other side has got a massive iceberg stuck inside. So I don't know if it was totally necessary. Oh,
That's good.
there you go.
We also saw places advertising live sharks and alligators.
Yeah.
There was a Chinese store selling weapons.
Yeah.
For all your martial arts needs.
Yeah, it was crazy and really cool. So we're glad we saw those. But then as soon as you get out of the town, so we also started seeing the mountains.
Yeah.
Dan spotted them first, and they kind of just blend in with the skyline as you're driving in.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you get past, Pigeon Forge was the attraction town. As soon as
Yeah.
you get to the outskirts of that, it's just forest, and there's like
Yeah.
a drop off next to the road with a creek running through it, and it's
Beautiful.
beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's going to be really good. We're going to camp at a place called Smokemont tonight. We're going to get some fuel, some food, go and set up camp and have a look around, and maybe we'll do a hike tomorrow, just depending. And then we'll get on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we're going to drive that. And the guy said it's 480 miles from here to the Skyline Drive, which will be the next drive we're doing. I have put all of this in the Google Maps, and it's told me how many hours and stuff. And it did say like 260 kilometers, I think, in like 4.5 hours, because the guy said that there's a speed limit of 35 miles per hour.
Yep.
Although nobody follows the speed limits in America at all, like by a lot as well, because I mean that includes me, because I haven't been going a lot over, but I mean I've been going a few miles over. So say it's like a 35, or no, not 35, but like say 65, you might do like 79. You might do like a 70 or so. People are
Assume these
flying.
roads, though, if you come off the road, you'll go to impending doom and death.
Yeah, I think that on the interstate, like I was sitting on 75 and I felt like I was going slow, so I took it up to 80. That was a 70 zone. Here, I think the people might behave a little bit more with this speed limits. One, because they're looking at shit, so they're distracted.
Yeah.
And also because there's no fall or no recovery zone.
I would say that it's probably quite bendy as well, like
Yeah.
twisty, so a lot of curves, which will be, I mean, we're going to have another segment on the show called how much has that RV annoyed you? Or how many RVs have you got stuck behind today? Because I can only assume we're going to get stuck right up the arse or something.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're going to go set up camp, make it happen. No one else anything to say on that?
No.
Brady, you haven't got a little quip?
I'm eating a bagel.
Welcome to the final installment of the episode.
Because we die after this one.
Episode 4, probably, or 5. I don't know. Never mind.
Day 7.
We don't mention how many episodes because we always forget.
Alright, that's...
But I don't know if you can hear that while we're talking over. It's the sound of rain as we camp in the Great Smoky Mountains on a bed of gravel, which is legit true. Like the campground has sites lined out, and they all have a spot to put your tent, which just happens to be a fucking gravel pit. And as we've already said earlier, we don't have any what do you call them?
Sleeping mats.
Sleeping mats. So we're just sleeping on
Ryan
the
also
ground.
doesn't have a pillow.
Ryan also doesn't have a pillow, so
I'm standing by my decision, and I'll live with the consequences for that one.
what a man.
Well,
We had a good dinner. Do you want to take us through it, Chef?
yep. I had some couscous with some shrimp boil seasoning, which contains some mustard seeds and peppers and chilies, garlic. It's very nice. Then we we fried off some onions, garlic, chili, and capsicum, or bell pepper, as we're referring to it while we're here.
Yeah. Otherwise, people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then some beef stir-fry strips fried off with some more garlic. And we mixed all that up. It's pretty good.
Beautiful.
Got in just in time, I think. If we had been any later, we would have been in real trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, dinner was good. Dan did a good job getting the fire started. Unfortunately, the weather has decided
Rain
against
ruined
that continuing.
Actually,
I think it's,
oh, it's still glowing.
yeah, we made a little nice little cozy for it, so I think embers will stay dry, and I don't think this is going to stop though. I think we're optimistic.
80% chance of rain is what we were told, and they were very much correct.
At least the bears will probably be going back in for their naps. If they wake up from their nap now, they're just gonna have a look and be like, nah, fuck that, I'm sleeping in.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry. I don't think we have to worry about bears tonight.
It's not summer yet.
It's pretty warm still, despite the rain and whatnot. So I've opted to sleep on top of the sleeping bag. I think we all have, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of the sleeping bag, but it's going to be a rough night, and I'm just going to put it out there. We may end up in the car
Yeah.
if I don't know, if this tent starts to disintegrate.
The car's currently inside, I've got to say, a bit wetter than here. Because of all the shit we rushed into.
But did have a nice final drive through the mountains.
You did?
Until we got blocked by I don't know,
Bitch.
yeah, van.
Stupid bitch.
That, yeah, it was doing 10 miles below the speed limit, which is actually the speed limit. But
Yes, so
So-
she wasn't breaking the law.
no, but yeah, even on the straight stretches, when the speed limit increased, even on the straight stretches, she'd just sit at like, that's when she wasn't doing the speed limit. So that was not very fun. Would have saved us about 10 or 15 minutes, which might have meant we had set up and finished dinner and maybe got the fire. I think the fire would have been cooked anyway, but we would have just been in a position where we're like, nah, calling it and ducked inside the tent rather than
Yeah,
madly
rushing,
trying to
yeah.
get everything into the car.
I was anticipating, I was hoping that you could just pick your own site, and I thought we might be able to string the tent up as a good weather shield, but
It's up,
what did I say?
tent.
Oh, tent. I meant the tarp. But as we've got it now, it's just sort of over the top of the tent. Bit of a rush job, and then. But I mean, it's keeping the rain out. Although it's pretty loud. It's like, I don't know if you guys. Well, Ryan's able to fall asleep within a second. But
Amazing. Absolutely
amazing. But I don't know if I'll be sleeping too soon.
Yeah.
At least we're not cold.
At least we're not cold.
That's
At
true.
least we're not dead, and we're not hungry.
No.
So we'll see how we go.
A little bit thirsty. Stick my mouth outside.
All right. Thank you.